Hi, thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to walk you through the basics of doing some repotting. So the first thing you want to do is going to get a container. Any container will do. Next, you're going to want to look at the bottom, and if there's no drainage hole, that's okay. I'm infamously not using pots with drainage, and some people are going to probably DM me or send me very long text messages about how dare I talk about not using pots with drainage. I don't know. I'm very lazy and I don't like cleaning up the spills of water, and it's not entirely necessary. If you keep an eye on your plant and can pay attention to how much you're watering it and the reactions it has with water, you don't necessarily need a drainage hole. Now, if you're a beginner plant owner, plant parent, definitely recommend starting off with drainage. I've been owning plants for probably about 6 years, if not longer, so I'm okay with not using drainage, especially for cacti. Now, this is a prickly pear cactus, cactus cutting that I found, quote unquote. I usually would use a bigger pot, but I'm currently quarantined and most of my plant supplies are still in my apartment in Brooklyn, so we make do with what we got. So you can see the pieces of soil that are hanging out the side of it. Those are actually the roots. So whenever you get a cutting, which is a little bit more, I would say, advanced, which is a part of the plant that you propagate, and that allows you to repot it and make an entirely new plant. You're going to want to wait until you get roots, and then you're going to want to repot it so that it can continue growing, because eventually it just will stop developing, and that little green thumb part, that is the regrowth that has happened over a 3-month wait. So I also don't recommend doing propagation of cacti during the winter time. I luckily have a space heater, so I was able to keep it very, very warm, and you can see from all the plants in the background, they all need a lot of humidity, so we faked an environment. So this next one is another variegation of a cactus. This one actually gave me a lot of little tiny baby splinters because I thought I could plant a cactus with little tiny pricks with no tweezers. Do not recommend. Do not do it at home. My fingers and palm of my hand hate me currently. You can see where I just hit my hand. So I did use a pen. Another thing is whenever you plant a cactus, they have very small root systems, so you're always going to want to make sure you compact the dirt, because otherwise they'll just fall over. I see this all the time with very tall cacti, and it's really sad because if they're really tall, over 6 foot, it can be very difficult to repot them. Another thing you want to know is the soil you're using. So I'm just using a bag of soil that my boyfriend's grandmother had in her yard, and it's a what is it called? Moisture control soil. I'm actually not a huge fan of hydration control soil. It doesn't really mean anything. I just usually opt for soils that are more organic matter, because I find that pieces of wood usually help as a natural drainage, and also do what this one does, which is just more perlite, which is the little white things in your soil, and this is a very easy way to clean up. The white things help control moisture, and then they also help allow water to escape the soil. Coffee break, and then you clean your hands off, and then that's it. Thanks again for watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, just feel free to send us a message.